So a news day is something that the university puts together to try and simulate a newsroom, like you'd find at Five Live or you'd find at ITV or Sky. So for the purpose of day, which tends to be between 6 and 8 hours for us, we come in, we have a news meeting. People bring packages and new late starts and that kind of thing, depending on what we're working on that day. And we try to find the stories, write the scripts to get our programs or bulletins out to a set deadline.
And obviously, such a long day with a load of things to do. What would be the biggest challenges you'd face throughout the day?
At first, the biggest challenges are deadlines. One thing that Andrew Lindsay says to you at the start is everything takes 3 times as long as you think it will, and that's pretty much the general rule of thumb. You'll have some editing to do, and you'll think I can get this done in 10 minutes, and it will definitely take you at least half an hour if you're lucky. So trying to make sure that you're going to get everything out, especially to the bulletins, which are really quick in succession. It's a slow start to the day and a slow end, but for a 3-hour period, you are non-stop.
And what would your role mainly be in the news day?
In the news days, I tend to take on the director role in the gallery. As director, I tend to take over as kind of a semi-studio manager from about an hour before the programs go live and about 50 minutes before the bulletins go live. I'm also in charge of vision mixing, so cutting between the VTs that are brought in and the different cameras in the studio, and cueing presenters. And I tend to take on some elements of PAing as well, counting people in for times, for example.
And as a director, obviously a big role. Who would you work with to get your stories and to put the show together?
When I'm getting stories, I tend to work with the rest of my group. You're split into 4 groups, and you work between you through the week. You'll post stories into whatever group chat you're using, be that on Facebook or WhatsApp or whatever. And then you will try and find the right people, pull resources, give people different contacts.
And what advice would you have for us first years going into our news days next year? Like, what would you tell us to expect, and how would you tell us to prepare?
One of the assessments is portfolio, and now we're in week 12. There is a very clear difference between people that have been focusing on getting footage for their portfolio from the get-go, who are very calm at the moment, and people that haven't, who are trying to do packages and 2 ways in the same week, for example, because they just need to fill time. So as a first year, one of the best things you can do is start by collecting a lot of stuff, and that's better as well, because if you show up a package every week for a program, you're going to have a lot of stuff to go out in the program. That's going to make it look better as well. I'd also say focusing on the extracurriculars is always important. Doing shock, is great for radio, as is working with Utter and Keys Radio when that's on, and doing Keys TV is really good for that as well, because it just gives you the knowledge you need to film correctly, to ask the right questions, and to get the journalistic legwork right, as well as working in the gallery if you do it from that side as well.